Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel, Smishek's Custom Baits. Rick Smishek here. Today we're going to make some stuff that BJ Colburn commented on that he would like to see. He said he'd like to see both of the Ned rigs made in a black and chartreuse. He wants to see them compared. So that's what we're going to do today. Cooking the plastisol right now. Having some of my coffee for the day. But before we get started on making the Ned rigs, let's talk about why some molds you can't do laminates in them. Okay, and I have to fix the website because the swimming twigs, and I'm about to show you why, can't be laminated. But the website allows you to order laminates in that bait. Okay. So first thing, here's a mold from Lurcraft, and it's a swim bait, okay? And this stuff only applies to baits that have this foot, the swim foot on it, okay? When I shoot this mold, I take the blending block and I put it on parallel with the mold, okay? That's the only way that we can get a laminate out of these, because the top of the bait is on this side and the bottom is on this side, okay? And with each cavity has its own ejection port to allow us to do that, okay? Now this one, the bait, we have one injection port, and the baits, when the plastic comes in, the two colors come in, they come in side by side, and you end up with, instead of a top and bottom laminate like this, you end up with a laminate like this, because we can't, the mold manufacturers can't cut the foot so that it goes down into the metal like this, okay? And that's, and in the mold where the bait's oriented like this with the runner like that, that's the only way you could do it like that. So in order to do a laminate, you need, with a swim bait like this, you need individual injection ports like this. Doesn't mean this mold's no good, you just don't shoot laminates in it, okay? So, pardon me. So since I forgot to set that up properly, I'll be doing that today after I get this video uploaded. We actually had an order come in, I had to tell the guy, oh sorry man. But that's why you can't laminate that mold. But this one you can, and I have my swim bait mold, the Bloodline swim bait mold from Angling AI, has the individual injection ports as well. And that's why we get good laminates out of that. Or that's why we get laminates. We get good laminates because I've been practicing the uneven pressure. Let's check this real quick. Okay, this stuff is, we're gonna have to heat this a little bit more. Okay. Man, the handles are kind of warm. All right. Oh, and JM had a suggestion for a video where I talk about the stuff, the equipment that I have, what I would buy again, what brands they are, and I'll do that for next week. Well, that won't go up for next week. That was a really good idea, by the way. And I have some suggestions for what to buy, what I'm not gonna say what not to buy, but because most everything I've bought is, I think it has been pretty good. Sometimes it was due to my lack of knowledge that I got like the hardest thing they make to make. But we'll go over that next week too. So let me finish getting the plastisol heated up and degassed, and then we'll get to put the colors in and whatnot. All right, real quick before we get started putting the colorant in, there's one thing I want to show you guys. This is a 10 cavity mold here, and I don't really want to make all 10 baits. So what I'm going to do here is I have an old sprue, okay? I'm just put it in the runner, and we're going to block off those bottom 6 cavities. Now when I shoot the mold the first time, well, I'll leave this in for the second one too, but it'll just fill these top 4 cavities instead of filling everything. All right. That's a little trick you can use. You can do that with any mold. All right, there we go. Put that off the side. All right, now, first color we're going to shoot is, quick shake here again, is the chartreuse. All right, let's see how this looks. We'll give it a quick stir. See if we need any more. Actually, I think that's going to be pretty good. Let's check the temperature real quick. You might be able to shoot this right away. That's about 312 or so. We're going to need to warm that up just a bit. Okay? So, I'll go ahead and put this back in the microwave and grab out the other color, the other cup. All right. And we're going to go ahead and make the black. Now the black is a really thick colorant, and it makes, we don't need a ton of it in here. That's probably enough. Let me go ahead and stir this and see. If you get too much, it makes and I'll have to do a video and show you guys what I'm talking about. It just makes the colorant super thick, and it cools off too fast. Yeah. But this is looking pretty good. All right. All right, let's check the temperature on that real quick too. Oh, about 320 maybe. Oh no, it's going to 318. All right, so this is going to need to be warmed up just a little bit also. So as soon as I get the chartreuse brought back up to temperature, we'll be right back and go ahead and start that. All right, let's go ahead and get the glove on here. There we go. And I'm going to go ahead and do these like this so you can see them both. All right, let's go ahead and shoot this chartreuse. Go ahead and hold pressure for a few seconds. Make sure all the air gets pushed out of the cavities. Over here, we'll shoot this one. All right, this should be good. Evacuate what's left. There we go, Bob's your uncle. All right, now the Bait Junkies mold, I've already snipped the tails off and put them back in. But I wanted you guys to see this one. This sprue here, it's most likely came out of a different angling AI mold than the Ned Rig one, because it didn't quite fit like it should. It didn't quite block everything off. And you can see the difference in the color here and here. Well, that's because the chartreuse ran down. Although it did block these two cavities, but it didn't block these two bottom ones. But these, they have hole spots in them. So these ones here at the bottom didn't fill all the way. These up here did, but I don't want those anyways. So I'm just going to toss those back in there. All right, so here's something you want to watch out for. You notice this side has the post, the screws coming through and the alignment pins, but no vent lines. So because I measured this by the vent lines, by how we're going to do this, let's see if we can pull that off. There we go. Now this will work a whole lot better this time than it did the last time because there's extra plastic on it. But what we want to do here, I'm just going to pull them off the sprue. We don't need that. Okay. What I want to do here is I want to cut them according to where the vent lines are. Okay. And I do that to avoid You know, I'm going to try to force one to be just like what I'm going to tell you. Where on this part of the right down here by, if I cut it up here, okay, I don't know if how well you can see it. Here's a vent line here, and if I cut it up here, like I'm going to do, okay, like that. There we go. Okay, now there should be an air pocket that forms down here that you can't get rid of. All right, now we're going to cut the rest of these back right by the vent line. Okay, so we can vent that extra air. Okay. Yeah, that one should fit fine too. Okay, let's go ahead and close up the mold now. Now see, here's the problem here. If I didn't have those the screws in place, it'd be a little bit easier to line these up. Oh, there we go. Let's do like, there we go. They're in. Just want to make sure that the pieces don't fall out as you're putting them in, and you don't get them squished in between the two plates. All right. All right, let me finish heating up that black, and we'll be right back. All right, let's go ahead and shoot the black and see how they come out. See if Mr. Colburn likes what we made. Hold our pressure there. Okay. Hold pressure again. Evacuate the plastic, and we are just about ready to see what we've made. All right, we'll be right back when we open up the molds. All right, let's go ahead and open up the molds, see how we did. Those look pretty awesome. That's pretty. Pull these off the sprue. So, you know, these are all. Nobody has any dense air pocket things up here. Okay. They're all pretty sweet looking. All right, let's go ahead and open up the other mold and see what happens. All right, there we go. See, and here's our sprue that didn't really work out right, because we don't have the right size, the right one in there. We'll fix that stuff later. But let's take a look here. Okay, now see, this time we got lucky. This one didn't have an air bubble. We didn't end up with an air bubble on there. So that's not, we don't get to show you what happens with that. But see, now this one, a little bit of the black leaked past this right along here, and you end up with a black tip. No, you know what? This is that one. I think this is the one that I didn't cut right, because the other ones are all good. The one that I deliberately didn't cut properly, I think that was it. Either that or I didn't get it laid in there quite right. But that said, both of these Ned rigs look really good. You see, get them all over here. They all look really good in this black and chartreuse, except for this guy. We'll throw him out. Okay. But all the rest of them look pretty fantastic. Okay. And now, I apologize that I wasn't able to make that one defect appear. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But just remember that if you're cutting the tails, to try to cut them right by the vent lines, okay? Because otherwise you do get the possibility of other of defects happening. So, pardon me. little bit of lingering cough. I caught the COVID, even though I've been vaccinated. I got the Pfizer vaccine. So yeah, I still caught it. So pardon me again. Okay, right. That's it for today's video. Next week we will do a video I'll do a video that based on the suggestion that JM made a couple weeks ago. Pardon me. A freaking COVID cough. Pardon me again. I'll go over the things that I purchased, things that I wish maybe I hadn't, things that I don't know if I really had buyer's remorse on anything or not, but I'll go over the brands that I bought, why I bought them, what brands I think are good, what brands I think might not be so great, which I don't know if there's anything that's not so great, but yeah, I'll go over my equipment stuff, and we'll have that for next week. I'll also do I'm going to try to get the subscriber contest going. This is going to be for 500 subscribers. I know what the prizes are going to be, so yeah, that'll be a good time making those videos. Next thing is, I guess, is if you liked what you saw today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share with all your friends, your relatives, your people you don't like, people you do like. Sharing right now is probably the best way you can help the channel. Other than actually buying baits, that's probably the best way you can help us. Besides, our moms taught us to share, right? Share with everybody, okay? So until next time, folks, tight lines and calm waters.